Hi, my name is Susan Taylor Brown. I'm an artist who lives in the beautiful Santa Cruz Mountains in California. But before I was an artist, I used to work in high tech. I also used to write books for kids, so I would like to tell you a little story about me. Once upon a time, I was a girl who dreamed of being a writer, but it seemed like an impossible dream. I've always loved books. I could walk around my house with a nose in a book and never run into anything. I would make up stories and tell them to all my dolls. And as I got older, I wrote all those stories down in my journal. I wrote everything down in my journal. But if someone had told me back then that I would grow up to be a professional writer, I would have just laughed. Because writers were special, and I wasn't special. I was just an ordinary kid who didn't feel like she fit in anywhere. I was scared. I didn't feel smart enough or talented enough or educated enough to imagine that one day my name could be on a book in the library or the bookstore. Luckily, I was more stubborn than scared. I took classes and I met other writers and I sent my stories out to publishers. I was working in high tech at the same time I was writing, and I was miserable all day at work. And then I would come home and write, and I would be so happy. Then I published a book and another. I quit working in the tech world and started writing children's books full time. Oh boy, was I happy. I knew I was a writer. I published over 40 books and over 200 articles before I had another really big dream. 30 years I wrote books for kids, but I never illustrated them because I knew I was a writer, and I also knew I was not an artist. How did I know that? Because back when I was still a scared kid with big dreams, a teacher made me leave an art class because he said I had no talent. Yeah, that hurt big time. But now I started wondering, maybe, just maybe, that teacher was wrong. It seemed like another impossible dream, but I really wanted to make a different kind of book. Instead of writing the stories that people would read, I wanted to make journals where people could write down all their thoughts and their own stories. So I watched a lot of YouTube videos, then started making books. I made little tiny books, I made blank books, and every book I made was completely different from the one before. They all have lots of blank pages, though, for people to write down their thoughts, figure out their problems, or record special memories. I used to live in constant fear of someone finding out that I was nothing special. I was always afraid of being different, never believed that just being me would be enough. Now I know better. Now I know that if you have a dream in life that is interesting and challenging to you, you have to follow it. You know what else I know? That teacher was so wrong. I am an artist. I wake up every morning so happy I get to go play in my studio and make journals, just like the ones I made for you that you're going to get before you go home. It's filled with blank pages, and I hope you'll write down your thoughts and work out how to make your own impossible dreams come true. Because remember, once upon a time, I was a girl who dreamed what seemed like impossible dreams. And now, I'm living my own happily ever after.